as I earlier said, we have been living our financial lives anyhow, no direction. When we get money, the money controls us. We don't control the money. So sometimes it's as if we are cursed. Money comes to our pocket, we want to finish it within the next 2 minutes. Other than that, we will never be happy. We don't save, we don't do anything. We sometimes when we go to market, we buy things that we don't want. When we come home, we regret buying the thing. But at the time we get home, the money has already left our pocket. So it has become too late. How do you control that? Sometimes some people are so superstitious that moti and and many other stuffs. No, Motia cannot take money from your pocket. It's because you did not plan your expenditure. That is why money does not stay. Menye sika na ahye. Medi dwa a, na me sika na ahye. Menhunu me ho ano. Me de da bia medi dwa na maboka. You have been making losses, whatever business. Even if you sell water, you make loss. You sell cocoa, you make loss. Everything that you sell, losses because you don't track your income and expenditure. You don't track them. So to take control over our finances this year, let's make it a point to track our expenditure, to track our revenue. So how do you start it? You can use manual method. And I encourage that because most of us are not that sophisticated. We can use book and pen. Whatever money that passes your hands, just write it. Today, I got 2,000. I sold goods worth 2,000. Somebody gifted me 200. Write them. Just write. Don't do anything. Just write them. Today, I bought food so much. I bought shirt. I bought the funeral cloth. Some of us, every funeral that comes in our town and community will buy a new dress for it. There's a bad habit. You are wasting your resources. Stop it going forward, please. Stop it. So if you have bought it, just write them. Whatever you buy, the Sobolura will be passing, you buy it. The Waichi seller will come, you buy. Kunkunte, you buy. By the time you realize, before you get all your items, so you have spent even into your capital, then definitely your business will collapse. It is not the devil, it is you. That problem, prayer will never solve it. It takes you to sit down and identify. But how you can identify, I'm saying that just track all these expenses. So by the end of the month, if you sit down and you go through this expenses, you see that some of these expenses were needless. And it will guide you to work against those expenditures. So you can, like I was saying, the method you can use manual. If you are also good, you can use the spreadsheet, Microsoft Excel, and other Google Sheet to be tracking your you. If you are the type that can use computer and maybe sometimes your phone, you can use spreadsheet. That is what we call Excel to track your revenue and expenses. Sometimes most of us have get a lot of money, but we don't have any idea of how much we get. If you are to track them, you see that you are a rich person, you stop worrying about money. You stop calling yourself poor because that small money that comes your way and you don't write them down. If you should be writing them and know the idea, have an idea how much pass through your hands every month, you will thank your God. Especially those of us into petty trading, the artisans. the masons, the carpenters, the fitters. We don't write our revenues. When we get money, we don't write them. We spend from our pocket. The moment we get the money, we want to finish it. The taxi drivers and most of the commercial drivers, when we get money, that ends it. We begin to spend them. But if you should be tracking the kind of money that passes your hands, you will never envy the teacher. You will never envy the doctor. You will never envy those who speak English. You will thank your God for that profession. But because we don't track the revenue, those revenue, we think we are poor. Track them. Use the spreadsheet. These two methods, I think, is okay for you. So after deciding on the method, whether you are going to use the digital method or the manual, the book and pen, you sit down and to categorize your expenses. You should categorize your expenses into, let's say, rent, food, clothing. So whenever you buy anything food related, you write it under the food column. Whenever you pay rent, you pay electricity, those related to accommodation, you can just, in your own simple way, you can just book them. Or if you can, you spread them. Rent, electricity, water bill, just track them. And you have idea on what you are spending on those things. Transportation, do you have idea the amount of money you pay every week, every month with regard to transportation? You don't have idea. All that you know is that whenever you are going to town, you pay 10 cedis in and you pay 10 cedis out. But as to how much you pay for the month in terms of transportation, you don't have any idea. Track them. Have fair idea about what goes on as far as your finances are concerned. Do that and it will help you. There are other non-essential expenses that you can categorize some as non-essential expenses. Dining out. Instead of you cooking some food in the house, you go out, expensive restaurants, and you spend so much. Entertainment. You have not built your finances strong to merit some kind of entertainment, but because money passes through your hands, you think that ends it. You are okay. So as soon as you get money, you think about entertainment. You go for sitting. Some people habitually every evening they have sitting. They go and drink. You are wasting your future financial resources. The money that you have to invest to get financial freedom in your old age, you are spending them now. You are eating your chicken before they are hatched. Yes, that lifestyle will affect us in our old age. And at age 60, that's where you see the world well. You'll be able to identify the poor decisions you took when you were young and strong. Had I known, it's always at last. So let's make hay while the sun shines. Track your expenses, entertainment, uh, dining out, subscription, shopping, unnecessary shopping. We do unnecessary shopping. As soon as you get money, the next thing that comes to our mind, let's go to the mall, buy this and that and that. That same things you get at the mall, somebody can get it at the market, the ordinary market, at a cheaper price. Why do you want to kill yourself? Don't waste your future today. Subscriptions. We don't have savings. When we get money, we don't save, but we keep saving for other people. The DSTVs, the other subscriptions. All that we know best is to give our monies out freely. As and when we get money, we give them out freely. Please, 2025, if you are able to manage ourselves well, if you are able to manage our resources well, it doesn't matter what happened to the nation, our financial life will be healthy. The nation can be talking about financial crisis, but we will be swimming in affluence. Please, let's take total control over our lives, especially our financial and health lives. Let's take total control. Savings and investment. You should intentionally save something. Last, I was teaching about the needs and wants, and I told you that if anything at all, if you can't do it, whenever you get money, put 50% on needs. Spend 50% of your income on needs. Spend 30% on your wants, those entertainment and other things, subscription that we are talking of, and save 20% for investment. You can make this a rule, and you can make this guide your financial decisions going forward. So the third thing that you have to do after doing savings and investment, you should also track debt payments, especially those of us living abroad. Because we have the credit card, we buy anyhow. Those things we don't need, we credit them. We credit everything. So everything we are working to pay debts, and we put pressure. Those things put pressure on us. We work beyond normal times. We stretch ourselves so much. The work that we cannot do, we do because we have already engulfed ourselves in debts, unnecessary loans, mortgages, and other things. So the loans that you have been paying, the interest and the principal, write them. Track your spending. Track everything. So the third thing that you have to do is to track daily spending every day. When the children are going to school, I give them so much. I buy food for them. I give them TNT. I do this, that. Every day I give the money for house chores. Every day I do this. Track those and write them. Write them down. When you buy items and you are fortunate to get receipt, make sure you keep this receipt. You keep this receipt and write them. You log them. Write them in your book. Use your bank transaction history. Those of us who are lucky, we have banks. We do transaction through banks and other things. Let us pick the bank statements and read them. Know where our monies go. Track those things. Enter all the expenses in what? The spreadsheet or the jotter or the book that you have created. Do all these things and it will help you. You review your bank statement and card statement. Almost everybody is using mobile money. You can call for statement to track, especially the amount of credit you buy daily, weekly, monthly. Sometimes the data that you've been using anyhow, that you've been using for entertainment, and you know the amount of money you are spending on those things. Track them. After you have gotten a fair idea and knows those expenses that are needful and those that are wasteful, the approach that you can use to control your expenses and income is to prepare a budget. You should prepare a budget. With a budget, you can use that 50-30-20 rule that I earlier talked about. So, per your principle, every money that comes your way, you spend 50% on needs, especially rent, food, clothing, water bill, transportation. Some of these things you cannot avoid them. So you budget, you use 50% of your income to cover those expenditure. And if you want to entertain yourself and do other things, some small enjoyments, some comfort and other things, you use 30% for that. And you make sure 20% is saved. Save 20%. It is very important to make sure that whenever you get money, the first thing you have to do is to save 20% before you even think about the rest of the expenditure. If you do that, it will help you. If you do that, it will help you. So, as and when after you have the budget is going to guide you on how to spend your money. So, what next after having the budget? On a regular interval, maybe monthly or two monthly intervals, you review the budget. I said, per the budget, I said I will spend so much on TNT, but how come I spend more than that? You ask yourself questions. If there were some needful, unnecessary expenditures that you incurred, you go back to the drawing board and raise strategy to make sure that the ensuing months you will be able to do the right thing, to spend within your budget. So you should be reviewing your budget. So what I'm trying to say is that take total control over our financial lives. We don't succeed financially by luck, not by prayer, not by anything, but by discipline, by planning, by action, by determination. So prayer will not give you money. Prayer will give you the power to believe that things will be okay. By believing things will be okay is not enough. It takes action. After prayer, you should take action. In summary, I have said that going for let's track all our revenues, let's track all our expenditure. After that, let's prepare budget to control how we spend. And after the spending, let's review the budget to make sure that we fine tune areas that we were not able to stay within the budget. If you do it, our financial lives will change.